Great, we're back again in our IrisX library inside Trackunit Manager, this time using our typical Trackunit construction account. You can see the full range of IrisX capabilities here, but as promised, I want to take you to another piece, the App SDK. Before we jump into the example, let's start once again with the documentation and what actually can be found there. So, the App SDK, or in full, the software development kit, is essentially a collection of tools, components, and guidelines that allows you to build custom applications on IrisX. These applications can be designed for internal users to drive operational efficiency and streamline processes, or built as external offerings to create differentiated, value-adding experience for your end customers. In both cases, the App SDK gives you the ability to tailor the experience precisely to the needs of the users you're targeting. At a very high level, the flow is quite straightforward. You create an application, you design and configure it further, and then you publish and distribute it to the users or customer groups you want to reach. I won't go into that entire flow today, but overall it's a repeatable process that lets you build and ship value quickly without disrupting your existing environment. And here on the left, you can see there's actually quite some in-depth documentation available. This includes everything from how to get started to how you can make use of the different APIs, how to test your application during development, and, as we just discussed, how to publish and bring it to the marketplace. So whether you're a developer, a product manager, or part of the innovation team, you have quite some guidance here right at your fingertips. Great. So I spent a bit of time thinking about how to actually demo the App SDK in a way that really shows its power. And of course, I'm not going to sit here and code a full application live. But what did come to mind is a perfect way to showcase the value of blueprints. Quick reminder, blueprints are essentially ready-made starting points. Think of them as code snippets or applications that are already 80% complete. You can pull them directly from Trackunit and then customize them with your own logic, your own workflows, and your own company knowledge. Basically, your secret sauce. So, what I do now is use a code snippet created by one of our colleagues. Hey, shout out to Kasper here. And show you live how you can access it and run it directly inside Trackunit Manager. This gives you a real sense why blueprints are a great kickstart to your digital journey. Let's get started here. What I'm opening right now is an IrisX repository. If you have never heard of GitHub before, hey, it's basically a place where you can store code and other project files with built-in version control so teams can actually collaborate. I won't go into detail of that today, but your developers are definitely familiar with that. What matters for us is that my colleague has shared this repository with me, which contains a set of experimental applications which are then all built using the App SDK. So what we're going to do now is take one of these examples and actually put it to use. So you can see how it goes from code in a repository to a live experience inside Trackunit Manager. Good, so to work with this repository, I'm going to switch to another application after copying the repository link. I'll move into an application called Cursor, which is my development environment. This is where I can open the project, explore the code, and run it locally. So let me jump into Cursor here right now and show you how we bring this blueprint to life. What makes this application especially powerful is that it has built-in AI capabilities. That means it can help write code, explain code, fix errors, and even generate whole features. So what I'm doing now is cloning this repository from Kasper, essentially downloading a copy of this blueprint onto my laptop. And by bringing it locally, I can explore it further and even enhance or modify if I want to. So let me open the project. And look what we have here, some Trackunit MCP functionality. Here I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler for those of you who are excited about agents. So maybe stay tuned for that. Great. So let me open my terminal here too. This is basically the place where I can give Cursor the commands it needs to run or build the project. From here, I want to check which projects are actually available inside the repository. So let's take a look. And as you can see, one of the projects here is a generators project. I think that sounds good. That's the one that we will be working with today. So let me just start with the first command called npm install. Nothing noteworthy, but for anyone who is not technical, this command simply downloads all the tools and libraries that this application needs in order to work. Think of it like opening a recipe and having your computer automatically go and fetch all of the ingredients. So once everything is downloaded, the application has what it needs to run. So now that everything has finished installing, we actually have everything we need. So the next step is to run the application locally. To do that, I will type in the command npx nx run generators monitor serve, which starts the specific blueprint on my laptop. And once it's done, we will actually be able to run the application locally, and I will be able to show you live in Manager. Great. As you can see here, the app has now started successfully. We can open it by simply clicking the link displayed in the terminal, which will launch the blueprint in our browser. Hey, and that brings me back into the Manager application. Now I'm going to enable the toggle to show local apps, meaning the apps that are running directly on my laptop at this point. Once I switch it on, you can already see the result. One of the left-hand side, a brand new application appears called Generator Monitor. That's the blueprint we just launched locally, now showing up inside Manager as if we are a fully integrated IrisX application. So let's take a look. As a starting point, I'm getting a list of all generators in my mixed fleet. I can already see some information here, the asset details, basic connectivity status, maybe when each machine last sent data, when it was updated, and so on. But hey, this isn't the view I'm really interested in right now. What I want to explore is the detailed view of an individual asset. That's where the real value of this blueprint becomes visible. Now that I'm inside an individual asset, this part should look very familiar to you, right? We see the usual sections like status, events, and the different insights related to the machine, so nothing new there. But what is new is what you see on the left, a brand new tab called Live View. This is an additional view that was developed specifically for generators and presents the blueprint we just ran locally. And when I click into it, you can actually see that this is a completely new functionality, something that doesn't even exist anywhere else in Manager by default. Here, the blueprint provides a live generator visualization, whether the engine is currently working, how much fuel is left, the overall status of the machine, and so on. And while I don't want to go into the use case itself, I think it showcases a great example of how the App SDK can bring in custom domain logic and rich visualizations that go far beyond the standard insights pages, while at the same time how powerful blueprints are as a starting point for any of your development teams to create differentiated functionality. Great. Hey, I think that was a quick demo of what the App SDK can do. So now, if you're just up to it, hey, let's spend 2 minutes having some fun with AI. Actually going back into the other application and show you how quickly you can make changes to an application, especially when using AI. First, I will stop the application that's currently running, and now here in the top right corner, I can actually give instructions directly to the agent inside. In this case, I want the agent to make 2 changes for me. 1, change the headline from Generator Live View to Generator Blueprint, and 2nd, remove the little functionality in the top right corner that actually shows when the next data point is being fetched. Could be useful, of course, but for today it's purely illustrative, so we will take it out. So that's essentially the instructions I'm giving to the AI agent, and with that we can put the agent to work. You will see immediately that the agent starts analyzing the project, locating the right blueprint components, and then makes the direct code changes needed to implement what I asked for. Knowing our App SDK documentation, the agent does this over a series of steps, which you can follow here on the right-hand side. It's reading the code, proposes updates, adjusts files, all automatically. Under normal circumstances, of course, we would carefully review the proposed changes, but for today's demo, I'm just going to accept them and move on. So I will go ahead and serve the application again. using the same command as before. Here taking a couple of moments to spin the blueprint back up again. And once that is done here, we are heading back into Manager, enabling the local applications as well. So on the left hand side you can already see it. Then we are opening the asset overview as a whole, and as you know, jump straight into the detail view again. And voila! The headline has been changed exactly as requested, and the component in the top right has also been removed successfully. Cool. Hey, isn't that super exciting? I think that really shows you how quickly you can iterate and enhance IrisX applications, especially with AI. Amazing. Hey, that wraps up my second demo piece for today. Hope you enjoyed it and got a sense of just how powerful and fun this can be. Love to continue the conversation with all of you, of course. But for now, back to you, Domokos. Any thoughts on what we've just seen?